Sean Meyers now joined by the Mount Pleasant area girls basketball coach, Scott Giacobbi, here heading into the 3A bracket of the WPIAL playoffs. And first off, Scott, congratulations getting into the postseason. And I know it's always a big accomplishment, a goal the team set heading into this season. What does it feel like to be into the postseason and to have an opportunity now to continue this season with the second season, as it's called?
Yeah, well, thanks for the congrats there, Sean. And it's a good and a big accomplishment, as you indicated here. We didn't know where we would be as a team this year, and we have, I felt like, done a really good job coming together and doing the things we needed to do to be successful in regard to our overall approach to both section and non-section play. So, it's been a great year in that regard.
Yeah, certainly. You had a winning record in section play and then overall 14-7. To be honest, I'm surprised that it was so successful because of what you lost and Tiffany Zelmore, who many people know was one of the best players in the WPIAL. What does the team approach look like this year compared to previous years where she was doing all of the scoring burden?
Yeah, well, and that was the big unknown for us, to see how we would put together or our approach on the offensive side of the ball. And we hoped that we would play steady and intense defense in order to help to generate some offensive looks there. And both things have been successful for us. So we found an offensive identity and have been getting a lot of the job done with defense.
You started the season playing against Blackhawk. That game did not go well. I would imagine that had to be tough when you lose 72-14 against, what is probably one of the best teams in the WPIAL. But then the response was terrific. You had a winning streak immediately after. What was it like after that game, and how did the girls quickly turn it around?
Well, as you said, Blackhawk is a venerable program, and we were in no way prepared to start the season in that game against the quality of play that they brought to it. So, we tried to step back and take a look at some of the positives that we had from there and see what immediately the gaps are, because every circumstance like that against a team of that quality, they're going to show you where your weaknesses are. And the players bought in, and we just started to take steady and marked improvement, I hope.
Who have been some of the leaders on this year's team?
Certainly Riley Gazinski as a senior. She has been a good presence in terms of both understanding expectations and making sure that she's given a pat on the back to the person who needs it, or a little push to those who are dragging behind a little bit. So she's been good from the senior standpoint. I wouldn't say we have our juniors girls with experience have been pretty vocal leaders too. Nina Province and Kayla Rumbaugh, they've been around. They're a couple year starters, and they've done a nice job in that role, supporting Riley.
So you get the number 12 seed. That means you match up against number 5, which is South Park. What was the expectation in terms of how you might be seeded? And then when the bracket was released, what were your thoughts?
We thought we were going to be right there. And, optimistically as high as 10, or as low as 13. So we were right in the slot where we thought we were going to be. And then it was just going to be based on what the committee decided about how the rest of the teams shook out. We thought South Park was going to be, in one of the top half dozen teams, and that was going to be a potential. And sure enough, here we are.
And it's the second meeting of the season against the Eagles. Now, the committee likes to avoid two teams from the same section matching up, but right. The fact that you played South Park in non-section, I would imagine it saves you a little bit of time in terms of scouting and vice versa. But what can you take from that first meeting that ultimately your team did come short in?
Yeah, well, they are a very, very well coached and very a very solid team in regard to the things that they're intending to do. And they shoot the ball really well. They attack very well, both on offense and defense. And I think now with a little bit of practice and rehearsal against some of the things that they did that made them successful in that game, I hope we can neutralize that, and we'll see how we get after it on Saturday.
What are some of the biggest keys to have success?
We have to manage the tempo of the game and not allow them to do it. We have to get out on their shooters and make sure that we contest every shot on defense. It sounds like it might be a bit trite, but the bottom line is we let shooters shoot in the first game, and then we have to play steady and solid defense just across the board. Whether it's in the full quarter, whether it's in a half. Right. We got to do a good job in making sure that if they do shoot, that we secure rebound and don't give them second chance opportunities.
Well, Scott, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. We appreciate it as always, and good luck in the postseason.
Appreciate it, Sean, very much.